Green. Stephen Curry's out there with D'Anthony Melton. And it's Porzingis in at the 5. And Greg, now that we have a new season underway, what's most important for these teams to remember right now?
That it's a long season, Kevin. And I know we say that a lot, but it's the truth. And to just remember, there's going to be plenty of ups and downs during the course of the year.
The shot by Butler, nobody around. And the first shot of the night for him, no good. Here's Coward. Here's Wells. Sinks the three-pointer.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Outside Butler. Back to Curry. And it's Morant with the rebound. Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Head coach Steve Kerr and I got a chance to talk for a bit. We got to talking about what do you do defensively against Ja Morant. And coach said staying on top of him isn't easy, so our focus is on shutting down the lanes and not giving him the openings to attack. We want to make Morant force the issue. Putting Morant in tight spots is the name of the game here. Kevin, back to you.
And as always, Allie, great job. Thank you. Here's Wells, following the basket by Draymond Green. Back to Morant. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the 3 off target. Well, for Memphis, their last game a loss to Indiana.
Yeah, lots of sloppy play in that one. Several key miscues. They just couldn't overcome the mistakes.
Well, nothing bothers coaches more than turnovers. I'm sure it was not quiet in that post-game locker room.
Morant using that quickness to his advantage. That time he gets that one to fall.
And this Grizzlies organization, Greg, not afraid to innovate.
Yeah, we see that with the offense they've implemented. Different from just about any other team in the league. Rather than pick and roll, it's much more predicated on off-ball shifts and cutting.
And here's Morant after the three-pointer from Stephen Curry. Pass to Wells. Morant surveying the D. Shot clock at 5. From the wing. Morant with another miss.
Well, that's a shot he should make a majority of the time.
Curry passes to Melton. No good that time. Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Out to the right wing. Aldama finds Edey. Morant against MP. Shot clock at 6. And the dunk by Edey. It's been well documented that MP is taking these matchups seriously against other opponents in this conference. You got to wonder if that hasn't provided some extra motivation.
Right now, it seems like MP is well on his way to the All-Star weekend, but he's got to keep performing at this level, I think, and maybe even raise his game to be considered a lock. This is not the time to ease up. Keep the pedal to the metal.
In recent seasons, availability has been a problem for Ja Morant. Greg, dig into that a little bit.
Well, from a league suspension to multiple injuries, Morant has missed a significant amount of time, but we know when he's on the court, he's a game changer.
That's good from Morant.
Already an MVP caliber talent, Morant is all about continuing to get better, as well as competing for titles.
The Warriors making a switch here. Podziemski's checked in. Both free throws good from Morant. And we've got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. Shams, what's the story?
After 4 seasons in Golden State, Jonathan Kuminga moves on, and he was the guy that they drafted number 7 overall But after a lengthy free agency saga in which the Warriors and Kuminga exchanged several proposals and they had several sign and trade discussions, Kuminga lands elsewhere. So his run in Golden State is over. They're losing a good young player. Let's see how they can replenish the cupboard there in Golden State.
Certainly something to watch. And Shams, we appreciate the report.
MP looking solid from there.
34 seconds left to play here in the first. Pass to Aldama. Now Morant. Back to Aldama. Here's Edey. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. Three on three. Here's Podziemski. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
The Warriors shooting their first free throws of this game. Both teams deciding to change it up. And it's tied up with that one. There's 10 seconds left in the first. A three from MP. Here's Butler, a second chance effort. No good at the rim.
Well, that is a nice challenge at the rim. Really altered that shot.
It's a tie game in the Bay Area. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And from what we've seen so far from the Warriors, how would you grade them?
Well, going to the bench early, they obviously knew what they were doing.
They needed a jolt from that second unit, and that's exactly what they got.
So on the floor to begin things for Memphis here in the second quarter. We've got Brandon Clark. Gigi Jackson is out there with Ty Jerome. And it's Hendricks in at the power forward. And now, Hallie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. The Warriors at last season's trade deadline swinging the deal for Jimmy Butler. Stephen Curry said him signing an extension is big. He's committed for this run. It creates expectations, which I love. We all thrive off of that energy in that kind of environment. We are up for the challenge. Back to you.
They're clearly all in. Hallie, we thank you very much. Now, here's MP. This game with 30 points. It's good from long range. Butler's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Memphis has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And so the timeout here called by Thomas Isolo. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. And we've heard some coaches complaining about players getting away with traveling. Is that something, Greg, the league needs to clean up?
Well, it's inevitable that a few of those calls are going to be missed. But listen, you'd rather have that than officials whistling travels that didn't happen.
Now, here's Clark. Still scoreless. Right wing. Memphis moving that ball around. 5 to shoot. Here's Morant. And again, Memphis no good.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
MP, good.
And the unselfishness there by Horford. You know, he sees a better opportunity and finds his teammate. At full court, man-to-man defense here.
Out to the wing. Bell is wide open. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from range.
Yeah, he was so ready to answer that. These teams are just battling.
And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. Both teams will make substitutions. And for the Western Conference, we have a chance now to recognize our Player of the Week, MP.
He's really been on his A game lately. You know, the way their offense is set up, it really relies on his ability. He sets the tone each time down the floor, and he's been a lot of fun to watch.
Now, here's MP. 8 points for him, and he gets the bucket. And the Warriors lead by 2.
And really turned it around here in the second quarter after shooting less than 40% from the field in the first.
Morant, and finished off by Morant.
This is how athletic Morant is, a point guard who possesses incredible athleticism.
In GA, we know Coach Steve Kerr has been up front. In order to win, the Warriors need to take and make a lot of threes.
Well, it's the superpower of their best player, and the arrival of Jimmy Butler has provided some balance, but threes are still their best bet. The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
He better be careful now. That's 2 on him, and the last thing you want to see is for him to pick up his third before the half ends.
Zach Edey, he's checked in for Jackson. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Pass to Eldama. Now Wells to the left side wing. Down low. And the dunk by Edey.
And this is something Morant does well. His knack for knowing when to make that feed is impressive.
Now here's Curry. His last out.
Hey, yo, right here.
Here in the second quarter. MP's checked in for the Warriors. Long range from the inbound. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. MP's got 6 points in the quarter.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Steps back and fires. Here's Edey. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Right side Curry. The 15-footer, again, Golden State.
Just shows you how impressive Curry's shooting ability is, that he can adjust for any distance.
2 for 1 opportunity here if they want it.
And no doubt, Kevin, if I'm them, I go for it.
Here's Coward, guarded by Curry. Here's Morant. And then Morant slams it in.
And leave it up to Morant to put on a show. What a spectacular dunk.
And another look at that last play with the AT&T connected cam. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the half. Porzingis with a screen on Morant. Here's MP. Wells grabs the miss.
Wow, that's embarrassing. Come on, just put the ball in the hole.
MP against Morant. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on MP.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
That's good from Morant. And so he hits both.
And that's another area where
some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Grizzlies lead by 3. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the 3rd quarter after our halftime.
Hello, everybody. So far, a fairly even game for the Memphis Grizzlies through the first 2 quarters.
They've been choosy when hunting for shots, guys. I like that. Trying to capitalize on every single possession.
Yeah, you love. And now, not a bad. And that is it for halftime, folks. It is back to Kevin Harlan and the crew for the second half.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at MP. Some changes for Golden State. Al Horford, he's checked in for Porzingis. Moody comes in for Draymond Green. And MP, he's subbed in for DeAnthony Melton. And Memphis also making a switch. Jerome, he's checked in for John Morant. They've got MP. Butler out there with Horford. Then there's Moses Moody. And it's Curry in at the 2. That's the Warriors' 5. The Grizzlies have gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime, shooting 8 of 15. And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie Laporte.
Thanks, Kevin. Jimmy Butler, quite the pairing with Steph Curry. And Steph said he's like the exact opposite player of me. He's dominating the paint. I'm dominating the perimeter. Butler said, I don't think I could be a better complement to him, and vice versa. They're not leaving him ever. I'm playing in so much space. Back to you guys.
A terrific fit. Thank you, Allie. Here's Coward, guarded by Curry. 6 on the shot clock. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut down to a point with the bucket from Jerome.
Nice answer back there. Love to see the competitiveness.
And when you give up a 3, there's always this instinct to try and get it back immediately.
And Memphis turns it over again. And some changes here for the Warriors. Santos is checked in, and it's Brandon Podziemski in for Stephen Curry. The way, Greg, they're sharing the ball tonight, mesmerizing.
Everyone's getting to touch it, and everyone's contributing. The desire to win, it fuels MP. He doesn't let anything get in his way. You take your time. You don't give them another possession.
Clock management is everything right here. Time and score are paramount.
Now here's Jackson. Beyond the arc. No good that time. MP getting it done for the Warriors. He's been a major threat from three-point range. Got 2 of them to fall in that quarter. And while we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Well, coaches love unselfishness, and this is exactly what they're referring to.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the 4th. On the court for Memphis to start the 4th. They've got Jackson. Morant is out there with Ty Jerome. Then it's Brandon Clark. And it's Spencer in at the 3, the small forward. To the inside. Clark. Oh, and he pucks it off the glass. Wow. MP, that's for 2. And there are the Warriors now with another bucket. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Warriors?
Great job by this team closing out, blocking a bunch of shots, and just a tremendous effort defensively.
I've been really impressed with how intense their defense has been. They are picking up steals left and right, which is disrupting their opponent's rhythm.
And so Steve Kerr calls for the timeout. He knows every possession is critical now. Stephen Curry's checked in for Brandon Podziemski. Santi Aldama's checked in for Memphis. The 3 from MP. Jerome with the rebound. The Grizzlies trail by 6. And stolen by MP. And here we go. Fast break. MP's got it. The offensive rebound. Curry kicks to Butler. And here's MP for 3. The shot misses. Memphis has gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. 6 of 13. Jerome with it. Now defended by MP. Good work there as it goes. Jerome's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And great intensity here down the stretch. He's not one to shrink in the moment.
And that is great leadership. He certainly has that clutch gene that every team needs.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And the rejection by Jackson. And here's Morant. Jerome. And he makes that one count.
Well, he's a guy they look to go to, and now you see why.
And we've got a timeout called by Steve Kerr. And that timeout by Coach was carefully measured, wanting to make sure that everybody is on the same page here. Some changes for Golden State. Porzingis is checked in for Horford. And it's Green in for Moses Moody.
Great energy on the deflection and a good job disrupting their offense.
Yeah, that'll give them something to think about.
And a good-looking view of that throwdown from the AT&T Connected Cam. MP outside. MP showing the range.
And until he cools off, I'd keep the ball in his hand.
The Grizzlies trail by 5. Morant with it. Puts up the 3. Green rips down the board.
Well, let's make no mistake about it. If you want to cut into this lead, you're going to have to generate much better shots than that.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
In this league, you run whenever you can. It's so much easier to score in transition.
Green outside. It's sent back by Edey. Here's Curry. Lock at 6. Now, MP. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
That's going to draw a whistle every time down the floor. Not even close to being a legal screen.
Well, my feeling is you just want to make sure it's called consistently both ways.
Morant against MP. Now Edey. From outside, MP with the rebound. Warriors leading by 7. Butler outside. MP. Down it goes for 3.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Warriors.
One area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, their aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
I think it sparked their offense. It deflates the opposition, and when you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's pretty hard to overcome that defensive pressure down the stretch.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for MP.
Yeah, forcing turnovers and getting into guys' heads. That's how you shake up the offensive flow.
MP against Morant. With the teardrop, Porzingis with the block.
And there was a time when Porzingis was good for several rejections at the rim like that per game. Most would-be scorers have learned that about him. Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Basket here, and this game may be all over.
Yeah, but the main priority, Kevin, has to be taking care of the basketball and using the clock. A quiet but confident player. MP is one of those guys that lets his play do the talking most of the time. Guys, let's just go ahead and call this one. It's over.
Yeah, anything they do at this point is going to be futile. Too little, too late. It's good.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, any thought of losing this game has been put to bed.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. Jerome against MP. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge.
A great scoring effort from you tonight, MP. Kevin, over to you.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, I'm Kevin Harlan.
MP, right here. Come on.
Well, Frank, I'd rather live a peaceful life than deal with